Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you hear the jazz music. I don't know if it's jazz music no more. Editor, is it jazz music? I'm not sure. I'm editing this video. But regardless, it is reaction time. Now, I'm taking a bit of a break from Guilty Gear, just, once, maybe twice a week to kind of react to something else. And that's exactly what this is going to be. For those of you who are unaware, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Now, this game right here is one of my favorite games of all time. Period. It's actually what got me into the franchise, the original vanilla Persona 4 Arena, and I've always been meaning to do some content about it on this channel. I just been kind of waiting to get it in there. But now I would love to react to this set. This is Tampa Never Sleep. Shout outs to them. I believe they have either monthly or weekly Persona tournaments. Maybe I should enter one. Yeah, I want to react to this set between Yukari and Yukari. Now, I'm not going to do grand finals. We're going to do losers finals because grand finals is essentially a Yukari mirror. And, I kind of don't bangs with Yukari like that. So, if you don't know Persona, this is going to be an interesting video for you. If you do know Persona, then hey, shout outs to that memory lane. You know what I'm saying? And without further ado, let's take a jump back into memory lane. Yukari versus Yukari. Okay, this is losers finals. Now, what's interesting is that he's actually going to be playing Shadow Yukari. Pause. Little bit of context. Yukari, currently in this game, or in this patch of the game, is the best character in the game. Okay, they made a couple of changes to her zoning. They made a couple of changes to her arrows to have them have way less recovery for whatever gosh darn reason. And she's very easily able to inflict confusion. I believe it is charm and silence on you, which is like very, very annoying. And as we're going to see during this set, she also has access to one of the best supers in the game, which is really, really messed up. And Yukari in this patch did get nerfed. Okay, so what's interesting is that Yukari was kind of up here in terms of character strength. Yukari was here, but now the roles have kind of reversed. So let's see how Yukari is able to deal with this. Now, if you guys have not seen actual real degenerate zoners, this is a real degenerate zoner. So check this out. Automatically creating space. Now, these balls right here, okay, for those of you who do not know, these balls that she puts out, right? Did you catch that? When she summons those balls, those wind balls, if she shoots them, right? If she shoots this, it'll immediately track to the opponent, right? And it's very, very fast. You can't really react to it, right? Very, very fast. You can't really react nor avoid it. So right now the U player is trying to really like smack her persona, right? That's kind of what these persona cards are. If you hit them, they're locked out of being able to use their persona and burst for a set amount of time, right? So that's kind of going to be his strategy. But right now he gets the first hit, get into the knockdown, save jump, right? So this is interesting. He goes for this move, this sort of dive kick move. You kind of do it in order to either bait throws or bait kind of like a fuzzy mash or stuff like that, right? Or just to kind of like assert your pressure. If you hit below the waist, it is plus. And I believe he backs up in order to bait the DP, right? Standard U pressure, but boom, immediate shot, right? Now, what's interesting is that how the frick did Yukari get this meter? Well, she's actually playing Shadow Yukari, right? So Shadow characters build meter faster. They don't have access, or they don't go into Awakening, but they always have access to their Awakening supers. And I believe that's going to be very important to this matchup, because essentially every time Yukari gets 50 or 75 meter, she gets access to the best super in the game, or one of the best supers in the game. I would say I think at this point it's probably top 2 supers in the game, right? So he goes for an immediate reversal, insta blocks, right? And then makes a space in the Gatling. Okay. Now we're back to zoning. Now Yukari's ultimate, nice 5C. Now Yukari's ultimate goal with this zoning is not necessarily to stay back here. It's essentially to zone her way in safely in order to put pressure on you. So that's exactly what he was going to do here, but the 5C completely stuffs it out. Run up, catches the toes, knocks him down, right? Now Yu has a lot of meter, and confirm ski, boom. Next hit is definitely going to kill the Yukari player, but Yukari is very, very slippery. So now Yu's trying to slide in the DMs, all right? Zoning is happening. Zoning is being happened, right? Okay, gets shot. Now, this is, if you guys do not know, this is actually Shadow Frenzy, right? What Shadow Frenzy is it's unique to Shadow characters, which is that instead of being able to do one more burst, you go into Shadow Frenzy, you have access to special cancels into special cancels, all right? Kind of like a Gatling. and you also have access to near infinite meter for a certain amount of time, right? Now it's all based on how much gauge you have and how much EX specials use, yada yada yada, but it gives you access to very, very strong combos because shadow characters also do not do as much damage as normal characters. That's another thing to note, right? So this kind of compensates. Now, will this kill? Probably, most absolutely. Holy frick, that did a lot of damage. That did 5k, she didn't even do any supers. What the heck? That did mad damage. No wonder this character's OD. Certain characters are able to abuse it way more than others, and Yukari is one of the best proponents of it, right? Nice confirm. Now, this is the very annoying thing about her zoning, is that, like, hits like these, like, just lead to full confirms into full corner carry. Boom. Like 3k for a shadow character is absolutely ridiculous. And silence, so and mute, so he can't actually burst defensively. He can't gold burst or anything like that, right? But now she's setting up. Now what this thing is, right? If you guys do not know, this boom right here, this little thing is really messed up. What it is that it's kind of like an air bomb. So like if she shoots it, it causes an explosion. And if you're in the air when she shoots it, it's air unblockable, which is absolutely absurd. Because we'll see why that's relevant later, right? But anyway, catches the roll. Okay, 5C into slide. Now this is interesting. Okay, we see characters like Sin do this to Asuka, right? The persona's here, right? You smacks the persona and then cancels into slide in order to slide in the DMs. You know how it is, right? So now, use in. Hits her with the Raging Lion, into throw. Now, he used to be able to get a combo off this throw. He no longer can because they deemed that too strong. And Yukari still can, by the way. She can still combo into super or combo into throw meterlessly. So, like, honestly, it's kind of like capitalism. Rules apply to thee, but not to me. So, I don't know. Anyway, he gets a save jump. Gets a throw, right? Now, here's the thing. I'm not apologizing for you. You is paying for his crimes. Because this character was a war criminal. But now we have a new war criminal. Anyway, hold on. All right. Nice pressure. Okay. Now she got out. She managed to worm her way out. These games were a lot more jumpy, a lot more defensive, I would say, than what we're currently used to. Or a lot more air-based. Mobile-based, I would say. Catches him with something stray because too much zoning. Does this kill? This definitely kills. Holy frick, that did mad damage. That's game one. Literally hit him off of like a stray zoning hit. Okay, so that's game one. All right. Now, I already know who wins this, right? Spoiler, but I'd love to see my boy prosper. All right. I'd love to see my boy prosper. Hey, whoa, hold on, YouTube. All right, round start. He backs up because he's a little scared or something. I'm actually not too sure what Yukari can do round start against you. Most of the time, round starts are not that strong. Like, I would say in Guilty Gear Strive and in Guilty Gear Exard, round starts are a lot more important than in Persona. In Persona, you're not really going to see a whole lot of aggressive round starts, mostly because there's way too many factors that are at play during like round starts of these games. So backing up here is probably like what both players are going to do, right? What's interesting is that him backing up is more interesting than her backing up because she's zoning, right? So now he's backing up and now he has to recreate space. Right, so is that a wise idea? Not sure. Right, gets hit by some stray stuff. Gets hit by the strays. The zoning is too annoying. Right now, this jump move, this sort of stop sign normal. You know, I like my stop sign. No, boom skis. Right on counter hit, it's kind of messed up. She gets a full confirm in the corner carry into all that sort of nonsense. Right, early burst. Now, usually people do not early burst in this game. Usually you want to burst later because you get access to Awakening Super. But he bursts early because he don't want none of that, okay? Let me take a sip of my water. Bursting early is kind of okay because of two things. One, shadow characters, when they pop Shadow Rush or whatever, locks you out of bursting anyway. So it's kind of like an overdrive in Blaze Blue. I don't know if you guys even know what the frick that is. But it's kind of like that. You're essentially getting locked out of your burst anyway. And shadow characters don't usually... She seems to be like one of the exceptions of the rule. They don't usually do a whole lot of damage. So you will essentially like bank on getting it back early next round regardless. Right? But he gets tagged. And this is the power. This is the power of Yukari, dude. Boom, boom. Explosion. That... What the frick? Why did that do so much damage? Dog, this is insane. I've never seen a shadow character do so much consistently, like, ridiculous amounts of damage. This girl did 4K. I guess did she use meter? She didn't even use meter for this. This girl did 4K meterless off of an air confirm, right? And now pops EX Super. Now, EX Super creates 2 tornadoes. Uh-oh, he's gonna get caught. EX Super creates 2 tornadoes, and why would it create 2 tornadoes is because 1 tornado, right? If she does super and does 1 tornado, you can essentially roll out of it for free. So it's really not that big of a deal, right? Most of the time, sometimes it happens beady, but regardless, if she does 2 tornadoes, you cannot roll out. You have to sit there, you have to take a 50-50 into a confirm, right? Really messed up. Okay, let me just chicken block it. What happens if you chicken block it? Oh, she didn't do it. I'm very shocked why she did not chicken block it. I think she completely messed up the input. But essentially what you could do, if your opponent chicken blocks this, she could just yeet that up in the air and then just shoot it. I'm not sure why she did not opt for that, but it doesn't matter, right? Remember, rules for thee and not for me, right? She's able to combo off of her throw, right? Completely, entirely fair, honest, and balanced, and she deserves it. She deserves everything, my queen. Congratulations. Right? Now, round start, she's backing up. This is a lot more of what you would see. So he's smacking it, right? Went right over. He's able to kind of get in. She DPs. Now, her DP is very annoying because it's very horizontal. So characters that kind of like operate in this like horizontal zone, right? They're still able to hit her. Like, or she's still able to hit him. Boom. DP. Now you're in the corner, buddy. And she throws in anticipation of the down tech. Doesn't get the combo. Oh my gosh. J2C or J2B, my beloved. Boom skis. Gets the confirm. Nice. Right, you're back in the corner. Now she just holds up, right? Fuzzy jumps. He's not, his confirms ain't clean. Nice anti-air. Back in the corner. Nice, going low. I think this kills if he optimizes well. No, doesn't think it would kill, but it's fine. I mean, this Yukari player is absolutely not blocking, so that it is what it is. All right, good job. Good job, my goat. Good job, my king. All right, 5S round start or 5B round start. Doesn't do nothing. Now, what's interesting is I don't know if Bonch is comfortable right now, right? Because he's definitely not aggressing himself round start at all, right? Yukari doing Yukari stuff, right? Yukari's zoning is just so strong because she's able to like. The reason why Yukari's zoning is so strong is because she's like able to jump and do it, right? Jump, lay down something, fire arrow, right? Backdash, fire arrow. Like she's just able to like oppress herself in a very, very obnoxious way. Ooh, Bonch needed that combo. He is not looking comfortable, not looking clean. Boom skis, but gets the confirm anyway. She tries to late tech. It doesn't matter. She jumps. She is, Sidex is not interested in blocking anything whatsoever. Now, what's interesting is that Sidex is low on personas, though, right? If Bonch is able to kind of stand his ground and hit something, then I think, manages to get the hit. Into the one more in order to get more damage. Does he think this will kill? This is definitely not going to kill, but at least it's going to create the deficit of like, next hit will definitely kill. Or a DP will definitely kill. That boy was mashing for his life because he did not want this to happen to him, right? That actually might have killed him. Probably not, but unfortunately, that's where our hero, that's where our hero story ends. But gets completely rolled here, but at least we get to see the power of the most annoying character in the game. Right, I had the pleasure of not fighting this character when she was the strongest, right? And she was still mad annoying back then. Oh my gosh, completely baited. Early look, I actually do not agree with that burst, but it's completely fine, right? But then again, here's smacks her right on the dome with the with the one more. I like the one more. Usually this is not seen very much, right? You don't see this very much. One, it's relatively reactable, right? Some characters are it's less reactable than others. You has one of the harder ones to react to, and usually that's just due to animations. If you move less during it, then it's less reactable. I don't know, something about the human psyche or whatever. But gets his damage into the knockdown, right? Zoning is happening. He's getting freaking zoned. He's trying to tag her. Gets tagged, and that's the other power of Yukari. Well, usually when you hit Yukari in Persona, you don't really, not a whole lot of characters can capitalize off of stray, non-counter hits in the air, and Yu is not one of those characters who can really confirm off that. So you get these weird stray hits, right? Because of the numerous tech options. Now you tried to confirm off this. Because of the numerous tech options, people can neutral tech, people can down tech, people can up tech, people can back or forward tech, right? You're essentially taking a guess on what on how they're going to react, right? And he guesses wrong, gets clipped in the toes. And guess what? You're taken to the corner, buddy. Boom, boom. And now this heart, right, basically sucks the meter out of him, and she takes the meter. And now that status, the heart status or the charm status, is super strong on shadow characters. Very, very strong, because they want 100 meter, right? They want it because they have access to Shadow Rush or Shadow Frenzy. They're able to do massive damage. Next time Yukari hits him, this boy's gonna die. Now this is an interesting thing, right? Where I've not seen really this this method of like Oki, right? Usually they would go for like an instant air dash into whatever, but I think the reason why Yukari's doing this form of Oki is twofold, right? One, if she does it immediately, you don't necessarily have time to react and hit her unless you're teching or unless you're just waking up buttons immediately, right? And two, if he DPs in anticipation for Yukari's regular pressure, because Yukari's regular pressure is that she'll throw the arrow and then she'll have enough time to air dash and do like 5A or whatever, right? But that can be DP'd, especially by you. So she's doing it to kind of bait you, but it doesn't happen. But this is another thing too, like that jump C. You see how it like carries her momentum? How is that fair, dude? Look at this nonsense. Carries her momentum, flies up in the air. It doesn't matter. She's gone, right? He's just out of here. Now he does a massive chase down. Good job to him, but like he just gets a weird stray hit and he's not able to confirm. And now he has to eat this, right? Now there are ways of escaping. Here's the thing. She does one tornado, right? One tornado. There are ways of escaping. He has 50 meter. What he can do is he can do an alpha roll or an alpha counter. Now if he does an alpha counter, what happens is that if she does not get hit by the alpha counter, if she blocks it, or if it whiffs, he gets completely smoked. If he does an alpha roll, so using 50 meter, you're able to roll out. If he does an alpha roll, then she can bait the alpha roll by kind of standing there, and then he gets smoked anyway. So what happens? She sets up, he does alpha counter, and he one more cancels the alpha counter. Now he's put an awakening, right? But he cannot kill her from this. He can't. She's not blocking. If he just believed, oh my gosh, she bursts. He slides on the DMs. Now he has another YOLO slide in his arsenal. Dude, that is such a weird interaction. And then she freaking knocks him on the noggin. Is she able to get a confirm from this? This is also messed up, right? Because this is not Guilty Gear, right? You can't freaking just burst from anywhere on the screen. He literally can't burst this. He literally was unable to burst that entirely. That entire interaction, he couldn't burst it because he was too gosh darn high up in the air. Right, so you have a character who has some of the best zoning, not some of the best zoning in the game, and also has combos that cannot be bursted, like very high damaging combos that can't be bursted. Nice confirm though, like anti-airs are out of the sky. She is not blocking. I would just meaty the FUD out of her every time, dude. Oh, broski, and now, you getting hit, right? Ooh, my goodness. We are scrambling, wambling. We're scrambling. And now he gets clipped. You're going to do mad damage. All that is unburstable. All this is 4K unburstable. You're joking. This character is absolutely ridiculous. And this is a shadow character, by the way. Actual regular Yukari would have done like 4.5 to 5K there, right? And now he's trying to hit her. The Yukari player is trying to hit a U with the fire. Oh my gosh. Flips out. So what he tried to do here, right? He tried to Zeodyne, and if they blocked the Zeodyne, he would have one more cancel and been able to run up. He's like, I'm sick and tired of this neutral crap. I'm out of here. But apparently EX Flip, Yukari does EX Flip to get out, which has anti-zoning properties or anti-projectile properties. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they give her that? I'm not sure. But she flips out. And then just tries to, completely unburstable. Now I would have bursted anyway. Me personally, I would have bursted anyway because some people fumble the actual punish of burst. So don't be prideful and just hang on to your burst, okay? Like actually try to burst, try to get out. If not, whatever, you know, it doesn't work. But, you know, at the very least, you're not dictating that. They are, right? You're forcing the responsibility on them to actually, like, get you with the burst, right? Or to actually punish your burst, right? Okay, last round start, always same thing. Exact same thing that we've seen in the last sets, right? Completely backs up, right? One thing I would suggest to Bonch, right, is to play, I don't know, it's a little difficult because there's so many micro things to happen, right? One thing is, like, get your save jumps up because it kind of keeps messing up his save jumps. But it's very tricky because Yukari is very slippery, right? Evasiveness is one of Yukari's, like, biggest strengths because Bonch is scared of too many factors. You can't be scared of everything, right? Now, he tries to hit her with a meaty, but she is fuzzy jumping every single interaction, right? Every single interaction, she's fuzzy jumping. I think that was intended to try to get out of the fuzzy jump, right? But yeah, Side X is not going to sit still for nothing. And as Bonch, you should know that Side X is not going to sit still. Ooh, almost catches her. I don't even know what this confirm was. Boom. Now this move is interesting, right? So if you guys do not know, Yukari used to have a command grab. Technically still does. Not sure why. But when you had you used to have an EX command grab, which was very unreactable, but they changed it to this move, this sort of like EX move. Boom, this EX move right here. They changed it to this one because the EX command grab was absolutely broken. So they gave him this to compensate. And this move, especially on people who are most certainly not sitting still for nothing, allows him access to some of his moves. So after this EX slash, he actually could have either gone low with I forgot what it's called, the slide in the DMs move, or this move, which is Raging Lion. Boom, goes for the Raging Lion. I think he thought Side X was going to block the Raging Lion. Side X did not, absolutely did not. Right, and then we get the scramble. Side X alpha counters. Right, that was very ugly. I think that was plus, but Bonch did not know that, and now Side X has Bonch in the corner. Boom! I think Bonch literally tries to roll out. Bonch tries to roll out, gets grabbed. Boom! Combos, fully unburstable. It was fully unburstable until right there, right? That was the first time that Bonch was able to burst, right? Now, I believe Bonch should have bursted about here, but also now we're entering territories where the burst might not even hit. So this is very, very strange for Bonch. Gets muted again, and then just DPs. My goat. DP my goat, okay? Sometimes you got to do it, you know? Sometimes just smash that DP. Get them off you. Get them off me. You know what I'm saying? Same round start. Exact same round start. Not sure why. All right? Bonch is scrambling. Bonch is just showing some signs of life. Does not want to lose. J2B, my goat. Loom. Now this, okay. Nice. Okay, so here's the thing. Yukari has some of the best corner pressure in the game, period. Bar none, all right? Regardless of all the nerfs, Yukari is an absolutely ridiculous character. That being said, Bonch messed this up, right? He wanted to do 5S into, or this is J5S into Heavy Zeo. I believe it's Heavy Zeo, right? And what would happen is that the Heavy Zeo in the air would allow him to drift down, right? And sort of, and stay like close to the ground and cancel the stall of this move, because this move stalls you in the air, right? But he messed it up, allowing Side X to get out for free. Side X is out. But he's chasing him down. Oh, falls right into the DP though. Falls right into the DP though with the J2C. And that's okay. And this is the thing, right? Side X has baited Bonch down teching every single time. Bonch is just clearly not adapting to this pressure. But this can all change. Oh, we're not. So when it comes to this interaction, smacks the persona. This persona is now broken, and now there is a cooldown on when the persona comes back. Think maybe 10 seconds tops, right? 10 to 15 seconds tops. There is no persona on the side of Yukari. Now, Yukari still has non-persona combos. I'm not sure why, but slides in the DMs, gets the confirm. Now, this confirm is relatively advanced, right? where you have to actually delay the JA into the J5 C, otherwise this will happen. The reason why is because the persona will act in accordance to where it kind of spawned, right? If it doesn't despawn or something like that, then it will stay where, like, even if you call it when you're in the air, it'll stay where it's at. It's a little weird, funky thing, but he messes up the confirm, and SideX gets out for free, and SideX is able to still do combos. Now, this is incredibly privileged. Not a lot of characters can do combos without their persona, but he gets his persona back right at the literally, actually right at the last confirm, right? Now, Bonch does not tech. I would have been whole tech, okay? Just I would have been whole tech, but now Bonch is stuck in double tornado territory. Now, SideX, I'm not sure. I think SideX was trying to just set up for literally the maximum amount of chip damage, because holy frick, look at that chip damage. Brother, man, what the frick is this chip damage? And then gets the high, and then this is wraps. That did, yo, that did bad damage. What the frick? I don't know why. That did so much damage. All right, last round. Okay, persona down. Exact same thing. Bonch is just trying. He's just trying to smack the persona, trying to get out. Ooh. And then, dude, the fact that you're able to actually get a confirm off the JC, right? And now you're in the corner, muted, right? Tries to do nothing. Oh my gosh, that is so unfortunate. Bonch tries to slide out, but because SideX was technically in the corner, Bonch slides in the corner and then gets hit. And now we're going to see a giant persona combo. Jeepers creepers, man. Holy frick. Oh, it does not kill. Drops the combo. Second chance at life. All right, he tries to react. Now remember, slide is minus. It's punishable, right? Tries to react and one more, but he one mores and then mashes, which is, you know, very, very intelligent, very, very clever. And now, completely unburstable. Tried to hit him with the most unburstable persona combo he could, right? But now this deficit is just too great. There is a way out, though, right? There is a way out, right? Especially since SideX no longer has a persona and no longer has any meter and no burst, right? There is a way out, but you can't get hit by a single DP, okay? Now, Yukari does a massive amount of damage, but you're cooked. People were chucking you out of the sky like that. You're absolutely cooked. Shout outs to SideX. Wins the set. I don't know if SideX wins the tournament. Does SideX win the tournament? Let's see. It does not look like it. Okay. Well, shout outs to SideX and shout outs to the Yukari player. I know this video is a little bit of a change of pace from my usual stuff, but I'd love to do more of this, like strolling down memory lanes and even potentially playing some different games and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Shout outs to both players involved, and shout outs to TNS for always hosting these wonderful events that I may or may not attend. But as always, thank you for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.